What is up, YouTube? Zaci here, and today I'm super excited to bring you guys some more Pokemon VGC 2022 Series 12 content. Today we're using even more Patreon teams from the official Patreon post on Patreon. There's a link to this post on Patreon in the description of this video. Holy moly, I said Patreon like 6 times, but have you guys ever actually checked it out? Like, it's completely free to check out. There's a ton of cool teams that are free on Patreon to check out, and I would highly recommend you guys at least check it out and see if it's something that's worthwhile for you, because for every like 10,000 views you guys give me on Patreon, even subscribing for 1 month to the lowest tier helps me out more than you could possibly know. Like, the amount of views you guys, I guess the amount of money you guys give me for like 1 view is like 0.0000%, but $2 for 1 month to see every one of my teams and all the tech and all the actual teams that don't make it to the YouTube that I show for tournaments. That's on Patreon. If you guys were to see those teams one time for $2, that helps me more than every single view you guys have ever done on my videos. So think about checking out the Patreon if you guys haven't checked it out. This team is on Patreon. It's on the official Patreon team fixing post, and we're going to be using it today. And I really do feel there are a ton of problems with this team that do need fixing. First of all, the numero uno problem is none of these mons, 3 of which can set Trick Room, do not set Trick Room. It really relies on our opponent setting Trick Room, and no self-respecting opponent who actually uses Trick Room would ever set Trick Room versus a Calyrex Torkoal, at least in my opinion. I think if you could splash Trick Room on the Wims, on the Calyrex, on the Indeedee, that'd be super nice. Even on a Scarfmon like the Indeedee or a Sash super fast Whimsicott, that'd be super fine. As long as I can have one way to actually enable my Torkoal to be good. Because if you're not enabling the Torkoal to be good in a Trick Room, all the Torkoal does is make the Kyogre weaker if we have to bring it out after Kyogre's out. So it's a super, super hard team to use. But I do think if we were to play this rental team with the ability to go like Kyogre, Seismitoad, with Indeedee in the back, with maybe a Calyrex to clean up late game. I wish the Calyrex still had Trick Room. We could make some wins happen. So hopefully that's what happens today. Other than that, I do think the Torkoal set is cool. I wish it still had Earth Power over Body Press, because again, Max Torkoal is still not an absolutely bad mon, but like Max Body Press gives a boost to attack, which this team really doesn't need. And the Whimsicott's cool, but I wish the Whimsicott Tailwind enabled the Calyrex speed tier to actually outspeed mons. I wish this was a faster Calyrex to work in Tailwind. That's just my opinion. Hopefully we win, right? Hopefully we win some games. But even if we don't, I think this will show that this team does need just a little bit of help in the Trick Room department. I also think the fact that the Kyogre doesn't have an ice attack makes it super, super hard to break mons like Gastron. So hopefully we don't fight any. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I want to say thank you to everyone that actually just watches my content. I know I was asking people to go check out my Patreon earlier, but even if you don't check out the Patreon, leaving a view on these videos, leaving a like on these videos, or a comment, that helps me out more than you could possibly imagine. So thank you guys so much. We're going to hop into some games though. I do think the fact that like we have an after use Scarf user, this was like an example of the very first team that I ever actually used at a 2020 VGC 2020 Premier Challenge. I used like after you Indeedee with like Torkoal Sylveon, and I still think that's good. I think after you Indeedee Male is an absolutely amazing Pokemon. It outspeeds Zacian, outspeeds all the main threats, and it's still really, really good, but it doesn't do super good if your opponent goes like Speed Control and their Maxmon. So if they were to go like Whimsicott and then a Maxmon, you'd be in a really, really bad spot, because we have no forms of dynamic Speed Control with like, I guess we have Tailwind, but we have no way to like go Redirection Trick Room, which I really do think this team needs. I'll leave a Poke Paste in the description for this team and the rental code if you guys want to try it out. But hopefully you guys understand that this team has a hard climb to getting literally any wins on the ladder, and it needs some sort of Trick Room. So we're going to hop into some games. Thanks for waiting out the full description, and wish me luck. Here we go. Zaci and Yveltal. Very, very cool team, and a freaking Gastrodon. That makes this so hard to use. I really do feel, because we don't have a Trick Room user, we have to just be super aggressive. I really, really wish this team had one Trick Room user. We have Indeedee, Calyrex, and Whimsicott. They can all use Trick Room, but none of them have Trick Room. I really wish you just gave me a Trick Room user, because that would enable our Torkoal to actually be usable. This team hopes our opponent uses Trick Room. And no like competitive team would ever use Trick Room versus a Torkoal. So I'm really not feeling this one. But I think we're going to bring the Indeedee and the Calyrex as our last two mons, because you should be bringing your restricted. But like Calyrex versus Yveltal, not a good matchup. Calyrex versus Zacian, not a good matchup at all. We have no speed control. We have no ability to Trick Room. Like, this is not a good look at all. So it's going to be super, super hard to make this work. But let's see what they lead with. Like, if they lead with a mix of, like, Rotom and not Gastrodon, or maybe even and Gastrodon, we can make something work. Let's see. Rotom, Grimmsnarl. Okay. I can switch out my Seismitoad for Grim to block a Thunder Wave, go for a Water Spout, maybe get a double KO, and then like have a board where maybe they just have, like, Zaci and Yveltal, and we can just pop off with Max Ogre. But again, this is us stealing a win. You do need a Trick Room user on this team. Holy moly. What a requirement for a Trick Room user. Wow. Let's go. It just sucks the Calyrex can't set it, you know? It just really sucks. So switch out the Toad. Go for the Indeedee here. And let's see what you're working with here. Are you going to go for a Thunder Wave or a Light Screen? That's the big play. Thunder Wave or Light Screen? What do you think? Light Screen. That's the correct play. It's a correct play from our opponent at the Master Ball level. Spout might still carry your Rotom. It's definitely possible. Yeah. Yep. That's kind of just what happens. So right now we're giving away the illusion of Scarf, but like a modest Scarf. That's what we're telling our opponent. We're telling our opponent we're a modest Scarfed. So that means that any play they really want to come in with, it's going to work here. Right, so they come with a Gastrodon. We can just go for a Thunder into the Grim. Do we even care if we take that Grim out? I really also wish that you had Trick on this Indeedee, so you could Trick into a Gastro to stop it from being like a big bully, basically. Because we're going to have to switch out the Indeedee for a Seismitoad here. But I'm surprised they just let us get away with that. Why would they even bring Rotom versus the Water team, you know? What you got, Chief? Thunder Wave. There it is. Not going to work here. Not working at all. Even a little bit. Psychic Train, pretty good. We do be taking those. So that's 2 down. So they cannot switch anymore, which means if we take out this Gastrodon, we basically just win the game. We're going to have to switch out the Seismitoad, though, because we just got to put to sleep. Unless we want to max our Ogre and go for, like, a max Lightning into a Zacian. Ooh, that's so good. Why didn't you bring both your Restricteds? Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm doing it. I'm going to max Lightning the Zacian so we don't go to sleep. I really think they should have bought their Yveltal as well. This is super weak, but, like, I think it's going to be okay. Because we just, like, have to get this Gastro off the board. You might protect Gastro, but you probably are not. You're probably going to yawn the Ogre slot as well. So I think we're going to be okay. And we can just go for a max Lightning to make so we don't get put to sleep. You're probably maxing your Gastro. And unless you're like a Rindoberry, we are going to get the 1 KO with a Power Whip. But you should just be maxing your Gastro anyways, right? So you shouldn't be yawning. Which means our Ogre's going to do good damage to Zaci. It's going to set the terrain, protect our Seismitoad, and we still haven't maxed yet. Which means we can max like any of our mons. Even the Indeedee, we can max that thing if we have to. The fact that you lost 2 mons super early and you set a Light Screen when I'm using a big physical attacker, we're in a great spot here. So we'll see. Big max Ogre. Survey says Kyber about to be popping off. I can't believe we're going to be in a situation where we can actually do okay in this game, because like we don't have any speed control other than like Swift Swim, Seismitoad. That's ridiculous. So big max Gastro. That's the correct play. I'm actually happy to see that, because I mean you should be doing that if you're a good player. You should be maxing the Gastro. And let's see if the Power Up can even hit. Power Up shouldn't even miss versus like max mons. Let's be realistic. It's so big. Where's the miss like hit chance? You take up half the board. Let's see it. Power Whip. Let's go. Woo! Big damage. That's totally enough damage to make it so like an Expanding Force will KO. And we didn't even use a water attack. We used a electric attack, so we didn't get put to sleep. So big max lightning just to make it so we wouldn't get put to sleep. We do be taking these. It sucks to max our Kyogre versus Zacian. It really does. But I think next turn we actually should double into the Zacian. Max Quake. Are you hitting a Seismitoad? Awesome. That's fine. That's no problem with that. I think we just bring in like Indeedee. Should Indeedee be able to KO Gastrodon after terrain? Maybe? I think our only other option is Calyrex. And like, ooh, leftovers makes that a little bit harder. Let's see. Expanding Force. Yeah. See, like, this is where it sucks, right? It's so hard. We don't have any speed control. We can go for like a Seed Bomb, but like they'll hit us with their Zacian first, you know? That's fine, actually. Hit me with your Zacian. I'll just weaken your Zacian, you know? We'll waste your max turns. We'll go Protect, Max Guard. We'll waste your max turns and make it so your Gastrodon's not in max mode when Indeedee actually has to fight it 1v1. We can go for an attack with the Kyogre, though. It's literally free. I don't care if you max, what is it, Quake my Kyogre. Shouldn't matter. So we'll see what happens. I think we're in an okay spot, but can you like actually see how much harder this is because we can't set Trick Room? Oh my gosh, it's so hard. But this should bait the Zacian into like taking the Behemoth Blade bait. Going for a Behemoth Blade, going for maybe like a Max Quake, maybe a Max Geyser or something. They shouldn't like respect. Wow, I'm surprised to see a Max Guard. Okay. That means it's off the table for next turn. Awesome, this is just a free turn. This is a terrain boosted Max Lightning. If this crits, the Zacian's gone. It's terrain boosted. Like if that crit, that went through the Max Quake. We have to just fodder the Calyrex this turn. I wish we could Trick Room, you know? I wish we could. I really do wish that we could. But we can't. We have to C-Bomb. So you gotta put Trick Room on these guys. C-Bomb's not required. You can kill Gastrodons with Glacial Lance. So hopefully the person that submitted this team realizes they need at least one Trick Room setter to make this work. Oh my gosh, they're just gonna give it to me. They're just gonna donate me the game. I don't even need this. Like, bro, I do not even need this donation, but it's accepted. Just like, you know what other things are accepted? People checking out my Patreon. If you guys haven't checked that out, think about checking it out. Like, they're just giving me this. They're just giving me this game. They don't even want it. What if I just Trick Roomed here? Like, what if I did? You don't even care. Don't even care. We take those. C-Bomb. C-Bomb blowing up that opponent's Gastrodon. Wow. You'd think I staged this game, but I didn't. We're on Master Ball ranked. Playing against opponents just giving us KOs on their Maxmon. Holy moly. Rain stopped like I care. Kyogre doesn't care. Calyrex doesn't care. See, this would be cool if I had to Trick Room up, but we don't need it. Survey says Water Spout. And a little bit of high horsepower. We do be taking these. I'm going to sit back, max relax. Your Zacian's Protect is also on cooldown. Why did you protect your Zacian? Why even protect your Zacian in that situation? I have absolutely no idea. But you know what? We take those. You got to realize, whenever you're playing against opponents and they make a misplay, you got to punish it. You got to punish it. You may think that it devalues your win, but in reality, it doesn't. It just means that like you're a higher level player than the player that you're playing against. And right now, we're on our ult account. We're at like a 800 or 900 rank in Master Ball. We're just a little bit higher level opponent. And that means if you guys would have done the same play I did, you're at the same higher level. They even go for the KO on the Kyogre. Doesn't get it. Kyogre comes in hot. Not really. High horsepower. With the big hit, we do hit those. Man, I didn't even want to go into the whole nother next turn of talking about stuff if we missed the high horsepower. But we do be taking those high horsepowers. And we take the wins. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. This team had absolutely no business winning with no speed control versus Gastrodon. Wow. Holy moly. I'll take those all the way to the bank. I mean, at least this team doesn't use Gastrodon, but it does have like a random Seismitoad in case they go Rain. Does that mean we just don't bring our Kyogre? See, like a Trick Room here would win the game. Like a redirection user plus a Trick Room, win the game. Cut the Whimsicott for an Amoonguss, put a Trick Room on one of your Mons. You have a guaranteed win. Remember, I'm using rental teams, so I'm trying to do my absolute best to help these people learn how to tweak their teams in the future. We can just set up a Trick Room and win this game. But let's see. Kyogre's nice, but there's no way we just break a Grim. We still have to bring like an Indeedee lead. I think our best play is actually to like Indeedee Torkoal, force an Elite Zacian, and go for like a really, really cheeky after you Eruption, expecting us to go for a Protect Trick Room. That's probably our best play, and oh my gosh, it's not good. We're not even gonna bring the Calyrex because they have like Rotom, they have Zacian, they have like Zekrom, not Zekrom, they have a Grimmsnarl, sorry. I don't know why I thought those, I mean, those Pokemon are pretty similar. You know, Grimmsnarl has like a pretty big attack stat, so it's kind of similar to a Zekrom. But let's see. There's no reason we have to win this game at all. Like, we need speed control. We need some way to say, I'm doing this thing. And not saying, I hope you set Trick Room. That's what this team says. It says, I hope you set Trick Room. And no self-respecting Trick Room team would ever set that versus a, like, Torkoal. Ever in my life. We're actually just gonna go for like the after you Solar Beam into the Seismitoad. I think that's the best play. They're gonna go Light Screen, max the Seismitoad. We're gonna steal their max and try and win the game from there. We'll switch out Torkoal for like a Kyogre and then maybe play from there. After you Solar D's. Oh my gosh. We do not deserve to win these games. I just want you to understand that like we do not deserve to win at all. Even a little bit. We really don't deserve to win. Don't let me do this to you. Like, please don't let me kill you. Like, what are you doing with the Grim? Light Screen? Light Screen, like, might not even save you. It really might not. Light Screen, it might not. It might not save you. We're Specs, bro. What do you need to set Rain? Set a max Quake? We'll see what happens, bro. Are you like a Rindo Berry? I'll see. Bro, that's so much damn. I'm gonna max Indeedee next turn. Max Geyser? Okay, I see it. I'm gonna go Protect Kyogre next turn into like maxing the Indeedee and like max like Psystorming the Seismitoad. They're not gonna see that shit coming at all. Ooh, and they're orbed, okay. I mean, I could just set up my Seismitoad and Speed Tie. That's probably a better play. Go for a D-Gleam. Or just like a Protect, I guess. Or no, no, I think we do actually need to max this. Oh shit, we don't have, we have to bounce. We don't Protect! Bro, you gotta put Protect on your Maxmons! Oh my gosh. This team, rental teams are freaking hard to use. I'll say it right here. Rental teams are freaking hard to use. People hit you with such random stuff. They have no speed control. They have no Protect on their Mons. We have to bouncers to avoid this Power Whip. Holy moly. We have to win a Speed Tie to avoid a Power Whip so we can KO with a max crazy other move into like their other Mon. Holy moly. I guess we could have like maxed the Seismitoad here, but like I don't know. I like the max Indeedee. I'm a fan of the max Indeedee male. Let's go. Pop off. Show me what you're working with. Bounce. Oh my gosh, we just want a Speed Tie. I'll take it. All the way to the bank. We need to be taking those. Mindstorm. Oh wow, we outspeed the Seismitoad. Wow. If that works, full speed. They're just probably made to outspeed base 130s, or maybe even base like 142s like Dragapult. So we do be taking those. Maxmon down. Spirit Break, like I give a shit. I actually like kind of care. You do crit me, literally never lucky. I bounced. I don't even remember who I targeted with this bounce. I literally just bounced to avoid damage. We have a Kyogre in the back. I don't remember if this team has Gastrodon, but I don't think it does. But, we'll see how this goes. I could have just literally clicked Expanding Force, holy moly. Or even Dazzling them would have killed from there. I didn't need to max it. But that was a Water Absorbed Seismitoad if my Indeedee outsped after maxing. Yveltal. Are we going to pair with this bounce? The last mon has to be Zacian, right? So, like, Ogre's not even terrible. It's probably right to just max guard this turn. You know they're hitting the Indeedee. Just because that's right in front of their face. They know they can hit this thing. No need to throw away our Maximon at all. Reflect. Boo. Dual screens. Boo. Let me just hit my Mons. Bounce. Big damage. Let me get a Para. Para. Never lucky. Snarl's okay. Indeedee definitely didn't want to take that. So let's see. Who's more important to get off the board? Probably Yveltal. So we're just going to go for a Starfall into a Liquidate, which probably won't even KO like a vested Yveltal. But it still keeps the terrain in terms of like keeping the fairy terrain, the misty terrain, and make it so we can't get Thunder Waved on our Ogre. I'll take a crit. Just kidding. I'll still take a crit on my Indeedee. Oof. Oof. Alright, so I mean our best shot. This is our last max turn. This is going to allow us to go for after you Water Spouts for the rest of the game. Is that enough? I can't tell. Are we parking a policy? I don't know. I actually hope I'm not because I don't want to get Sucker Punched. That looks to be vested though. That's fine, I don't care. Can Scarf Ogre finish this game off? Not really scarfed, but like Water Spout after you Ogre. Can finish off all of these mons. Again, this game is so nuts. We shouldn't even win. We have absolutely no reason to win. You had every potential winner in the team preview. Survey says, we're locked into this move. We had to use this move the first turn. We sent ourselves out. We locked ourselves into like after you Eruption. They should know this. They shouldn't let this just happen. Please don't let this happen if you're a good player. Please don't let this happen. Sucker Punch my Ogre. I'm not going to pray for this. Please let me win. Just let me win. We can KO their Ogre. We can KO them. Scary Face into my Ogre or in my Indeedee. Incorrect target. Oh my gosh. Like I give a shit. Let's go. Let's go, Kyogre. Spout D's. Yo! Oh my gosh! Oh, we take those. We do be taking those. Rain stop. We're gonna two-shot your Zacian, right? We're gonna two-shot your Zacian. We're gonna after you Water Spout into an after you Origin Pulse, and it's game over. Oh man. What a misplay. What a misplay. Holy moly. If you guys want to check out this rental team for yourself, it's up on my Patreon. Think about checking that out if you haven't already checked it out. Make sure we're using the right move. Don't want to after use the Zacian. That'd be a misplay. Oh, you gotta PP max your Water Spouts. Holy moly. That's a pretty important thing. If you're going to give me a rental code, you gotta PP max those Water Spouts. Or any move that's a 5 PP. Let's go Water Spout. You have a screen up, but like, I think Origin Pulse will KO from there. Behemoth Blade. We do be taking these. Are you hitting my Indeedee or my okay. So we do have to go with the Origin, I think. Let me think about this. Do I have to go Origin? It's not raining. I do have to go Origin. It's still light screen now. Like, you still do have a light screen. Yeah, I have to go Origin. We checked our turns on this. Wow, 2 turns on the light screen? We'll protect. There's no reason to not protect. That way we can like wait it out if we want to. Wait out your wait out whatever move you have as well. Let's see if you have Wild Charge. Survey says, what do you got, Chief? Player up. That ain't it. We're going to go for the Origin. I think we have to. You're going to weaken me too much with the player F. If you're using Behemoth Blade, I just spout. But let's see what you got, Chief. Origin. I should be able to use 2 of these. Hit! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, we do be hitting those Origin pulses though. Zaci, where are you looking? We have absolutely no business winning these games. What the heck? We just won 2 games with this team. A team that has very limited speed control. We do have Tailwind from Whimsicott, but also like our Calyrex isn't really EV trained to capitalize on that. So I really feel, if you were to take a look at the absolute beginning of this video, we talk about the changes that would need to be made. You know, a more aggressively speed-tiered Calyrex or more aggressively speed-tiered, I mean, the Kyogre is full speed, but like, that's so hard to actually say how this team should work. We shouldn't win any games with this team, and we won 2 in a row with, you know, big Kyogre. Even against one of the teams having a Gastron, it's super, super hard to say how this team should work, but I think that, like, you should try and put Trick Room on at least some of your mons. Even the Indeedee, the Whimsicott, the Calyrex for sure should definitely all, at least one of them have Trick Room, so you can go for Trick Room if you need it. Otherwise, the only thing the Torkoal is adding for you is a potential to make your Kyogre weaker. I feel that, like, no self-respecting Trick Room team would ever set Trick Room if my opponent had Calyrex Torkoal. So if you're getting those games where your opponents are actually setting Trick Room versus you, you know, maybe those are working at your level, but they probably won't work at a higher level. So you should try to make a team that works at a little bit higher level. And I would say put Trick Room on at least one of your Pokemon if you have a super good Trick Room option like this team does. Other than that, try and get literally as many wins as you can with After You Indeedee, which we did in this game. Holy moly, After You Indeedee Mail absolutely busted. Avoids the fake out, enables the teammates. Good stuff here. And we were able to win today. So hopefully you guys had a good time. Hopefully this hopefully this inspired you in a way that would make it so you could actually play the game at a higher level. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.